Winning an Oscar, it can be a very big deal, and when the person's name is called, typically we see lots of excitement, joy, passion, dream come true. Sometimes we see surprise, like they didn't see it coming, but sometimes, let's be honest, there's not much of a reaction. Award season is very long, there are many precursor ceremonies, and when it finally gets to Oscar night, typically the person knows they're going to win. So definitely in recent years, we've seen more mannered kind of expressions when the name is announced. Like all the person's doing really is remembering their speech because they know they're going up on that stage. But I don't know about you, I love when we get a great, unexpected reaction from the winner. I recently put out a video, the top 10 Oscar losing reactions. Now it's time to give you the top 10 winning Oscar reactions. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 10, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis!
So I started the last video with Angela Bassett's death stare. Let's start this one with Jamie Lee Curtis, who is clearly over the moon when her name was announced as the winner of Best Supporting Actress for Everything Everywhere All at Once. We learned that award season that when Jamie Lee Curtis wins a trophy and she's not expecting it, she says, "Shut up," because she did it at both the Oscars and at SAG. Remember, she wasn't winning anything that season for a while. She lost at Golden Globes and Critics' Choice and BAFTA. She was over the moon just to get the Oscar nomination, so to win, obviously, had a profound effect on her. Number 9, Timothy Hutton.
The winner is Timothy Hutton.
So more than 40 years have passed since Timothy Hutton won the Oscar for his amazing performance in Ordinary People, and he is still the youngest person ever to win in Best Supporting Actor at age 20. He must have had some expectation that he was going to win because he won the Golden Globe Award, and Ordinary People got into Best Picture and Best Director and Best Actress. It did very well, so signs were pointing to his victory, but there had to have been something about Mary Tyler Moore, his co-star in the film, because he just lights up in the audience, sits up excited, so thrilled to win. And my favorite part about this reaction isn't Hutton so much, but a young Diane Lane who is sitting right next to him, who goes completely berserk. Like just starts clapping and screaming, and she's so excited. A young Diane Lane, who of course would go on to be an Oscar-nominated actor herself. Number 8, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg.
So in early 1991, Whoopi Goldberg was the frontrunner to win the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for Ghost. She had won the Golden Globe beforehand. She had a previous nomination in Best Actress for The Color Purple, and Ghost got into Best Picture, so it was looking good. And if you look at Goldberg before Denzel Washington even says her name, you can see it in her face. She wants that trophy. She's like almost already out of her seat, and then when he announces her name, she goes crazy, waves her arms in the air, and hugs everybody around her, and she starts her speech by saying, "I really wanted this." And that's something you don't see all the time, especially these days. People are more measured now. They just walk up to the stage with a smile and give their speech. I love when you have someone like Whoopi Goldberg who really wanted to win and showed us she wanted to win. Number 7, Eddie Redmayne.
The Oscar goes to Eddie Redmayne!
Soon after, Eddie Redmayne wins the Best Actor Oscar for his performance in The Theory of Everything. He has that insanely cute moment on stage when he looks at the trophy and kind of forgets what he's talking about and goes, "Wow!" And you see Cate Blanchett behind him smiling. It's such a beautiful, unscripted moment. But the main reason I include Redmayne in this list is that when his name is announced, he turns and kisses his wife, and then he says what looks to be the F word. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he says to his wife before he stands up and walks onto the stage. And of course, it's muted, you can't hear him. But the same way I love when Samuel L. Jackson said shits after he lost Best Supporting Actor for Pulp Fiction, I adore this moment of Redmayne knowing there's a camera on him, and he still slips in that expletive anyway. Number 6, Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin, the piano.
I love it when someone wins an Oscar and they are shocked beyond belief. Like had no idea they were going to win. At the Oscars in early 1994, Winona Ryder, I would say, was the frontrunner to win for her performance in The Age of Innocence after she had won at the Golden Globes. Anna Paquin, nominated for her performance in The Piano, was very new to the scene, and I can't imagine too many people were predicting her. And when she wins, it is just total surprise on her face. The walk up to the stage and standing in front of the podium. Like, she does not know what to do with herself. She is just gobsmacked by this Oscar victory. And the just very natural reaction this young person has is so real, so fantastic. Number 5, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
So here's another very much surprised Oscar reaction. At the Oscars in early 2001, I would say the frontrunner in Best Actor was probably Tom Hanks for Castaway, given that he had won the Golden Globe Award. He gave a transformative performance, and the Academy loves him. Russell Crowe, up until that night, had only won the Critics' Choice Award for his performance in Gladiator, and so when Hilary Swank calls his name, he has a look of disbelief. It's kind of a wow, is this really happening expression, and the greatest part of his reaction is when that man from behind gives him a huge hug and a kiss on the cheek, and Russell Crowe doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just like, what? And it's very funny, very human. I love that reaction from Crowe. Number 4, Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Obviously an Oscar win for Lupita Nyong'o for her very first movie, 12 Years a Slave, was going to be a big deal. It seemed likely to happen after she won SAG, but Jennifer Lawrence won the Golden Globe Award and the BAFTA Award for American Hustle, so it wasn't inevitable, but boy, when Christoph Waltz calls her name, her reaction is just pure joy. She lowers her head, her whole body seems to be shaking with excitement, and then I love when she jumps up and she puts her hands on her chest, where she takes a breath. Like, whew, it happened. Let's do this. And then on top of that, she gets to hug frickin' Liza Minnelli. I mean, come on. Number 3, Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon for Save the Tiger.
Now here's an Oscar win from early 1974 you might not be familiar with. Jack Lemmon won his only Best Actor Oscar trophy in his long career for a 1973 drama called Save the Tiger. Jack Lemmon was nominated at the Oscars many times throughout the years. He also won Best Supporting Actor for Mr. Roberts. But this was his only win in lead actor, and he is elated. He had lost for Some Like It Hot and The Apartment and so many wonderful films. In the mid-1970s, he finally got that Best Actor Oscar trophy, and he just goes crazy. He talks in his speech about how much this moment means to him, being recognized by his peers, and I'm just so thrilled the great Jack Lemmon had this memorable Oscar moment. Number 2, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry in Monsters Ball.
Speaking of being elated, right? Speaking of going crazy, berserk, absolute, out of your mind, ecstatic. That was rightfully Halle Berry in early 2002, the night she became the first person of color ever to win Best Actress. It wasn't fully expected, she didn't have the win in the bag. She had won at SAG, but Sissy Spacek had won the Golden Globe Award. Monsters Ball only had 2 nominations that night, Best Actress and Screenplay, whereas In the Bedroom was in Best Picture, so Spacek could have won that. It was probably close. But boy, Halle Berry made that Oscar moment one of the most memorable in the history of the ceremony. Screaming out, oh my god, she's crying basically from the moment her name is called by Russell Crowe. He even tells her on the stage, if you look closely, breathe, mates, breathe. Like she is just outside her body. She is so emotionally moved, winning this Oscar in this category. Her speech is amazing. It's one of my favorite Oscar speeches ever. And that initial winning reaction she has is an all-timer. Now, before I get to my number 1 choice, a few runners-up, I absolutely adore the gasp that Marion Cotillard lets out when she wins Best Actress for La Vie en Rose. Julie Christie could have won that night for Away From Her after she won at SAG. And so Cotillard is clearly surprised. Roberto Benigni, I had to include him in this video. I mean, talk about memorable Oscar-winning reactions. Winning both foreign language film and Best Actor for Life is Beautiful. He is walking over chairs, he's running up and down the aisles. I mean, I had to include him in here. Geraldine Page is a fun one, in that when she finally won her Oscar trophy on her 8th attempt, her name is called, she gets a standing ovation, and then she disappears for 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, because she had to put on her shoes. And so this is a rare Oscar-winning reaction where we can't really see the person who just won. I also love when Denzel Washington wins Best Actor for Training Day, which was kind of a surprise given that he hadn't really won anything up until Oscar night. I always remember how his wife hugs him and doesn't let him go for a long time. And Emma Stone, of course, winning Best Actress for Poor Things, the look on her face. It's not so much surprise, it's more, uh-oh, I have a broken dress and I have to go up on that stage. When she won Best Actress for La La Land, her expression was very calm and measured, but when she wins for Poor Things, it is anything but.
So thank you so much. Don't look at the back of my dress.
And finally, that takes me to the number 1 choice. What do I think is the greatest Oscar-winning reaction in the history of the show? This is one of my favorite Oscar moments ever. My number 1 choice is Juliette Binoche.
Juliette Binoche in The English Patient.
Talk about a surprise. A major surprise hit the Best Supporting Actress race at the Oscars in early 1997 when the legendary frontrunner Lauren Bacall, who everybody thought was going to win after she took the prizes at the Golden Globes and at SAG, and then Kevin Spacey announces Juliette Binoche for The English Patient. I mean, The English Patient did very well at the Oscars that night. It won Best Picture, Best Director. It pretty much swept the technical categories. And so in hindsight, it makes sense why Binoche won. But on the night, it was very unexpected, and you can see the total surprise on Binoche's face. It seems like she doesn't know what to do at first. After she's up out of her chair, it doesn't seem clear to her where to walk. Like she is in such a state of disbelief all the way up onto the stage, and then her speech is memorably extremely short because she had nothing prepared. She thought Bacall was going to win. She says a few words, walks right off the stage, and that's it. So even though Juliette Binoche has won an Academy Award, she didn't really have the moment because it was so shocking, like she wasn't prepared. But regardless, in the long history of the ceremony, this is one of the most memorable moments, and it is, in my mind, the greatest winning Oscar reaction of all time.